Good afternoon. I'm Jacob York. One local elementary student has some bragging rights over his fellow classmates. Mason Horton, a student at North High Magnet School, created a 4x4-inch design for a mission patch for the final mission of the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Only 14 students' designs traveled in orbit, and Horton's was one of the lucky ones. The artwork for this patch is permanently on display at North High Magnet School. It was dedicated at a ceremony at the school on Tuesday morning. President Obama's Know Before You Owe plan reduces the maximum required payment on student loans from 15% of their annual discretionary income to 10% of this income. This plan could reduce payments by as much as a couple $100s a month and affect over 1.6 million borrowers. Any of the students' remaining debt will be forgiven after 20 years instead of 25 years. To qualify for this plan, you must have student loans in 2012 and have had loans in at least one of the previous 4 years. And I'm Jacob York. Scary Acres is one of the top haunted houses in Nebraska. Whether you choose to enter the Master's Castle, the Haunted Woods, or the House on the Hill, Scary Acres is sure to give you a good scare. I give you a look inside these Halloween attractions. The staff at Scary Acres takes great pride in the attractions that they have. They have 3 main attractions that they boast to those who dare to enter Scary Acres: the Haunted Forest, the House on the Hill, and the Master's Castle. Robin Reyes, a makeup artist and actor at Scary Acres, gives us more.
A lot of the rooms in the castle, they're so put together. There's just so many really neat things about each room. You know, when you look around, everywhere you look, you see something.
The safety record at Scary Acres is one that they are very proud of. Owner Don Lasole gives us more.
It's a safe establishment. We've never had any issues. Parents drop their children off at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and they come back and pick them up at 11:30 at night. It's a very safe environment, and we're very proud of that.
For anyone who's 13 years old or younger, it is required that you have a parent or guardian with you. So if you or your young one wants to visit Scary Acres, make the trip.
We get a lot of youth in here. I'm very surprised at some of the youngsters, but parents are with them, so we're fine with that.
Why y'all walking so slow? Why y'all walking so slow?
If you head to Scary Acres this month, you might run into Tony Todd from Candyman or R.A. Milohoff from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Veterans Day was this past Friday, and as with every Veterans Day, we honor those who have served this country, as well as those who have fallen. We found an exhibit at the Strategic Air and Space Museum, which honors a veteran who served for 2 countries. This man's name? Joe Byerly, a hero of 2 nations. Byerly passed away in 2004 and is buried with honors at Arlington National Cemetery. Byerly is the only documented soldier to have fought for 2 nations in World War II. For the Omaha News, I'm Jacob York. Construction of the TransCanada pipeline will disrupt the grass here on the Sand Hills, grass that the ranchers depend on to feed their cattle.
The Sand Hills are a vegetated sand dune formation. They're grass stabilized, and it's taken 10,000 years for the grass to stabilize that sand. And the way we make a living there is, our cattle eat grass. That's all they eat. And so if we don't have the grass, we don't have anything.
Water is the lifeblood of our state, but it's also the lifeblood of our industry. Our farmers depend on this water not only to quench their thirst, but also to irrigate cropland and produce food for the nation.
What we're trying to do here is to save the water, the Sand Hills.
The environment will be protected. This project would not be allowed if there was any concern about the kind of widespread, wholesale environmental damage that a lot of the debate ends up seeming to revolve around.
Well, anything man builds, you may have a problem with, but with the proper planning and design engineering, you should take that to a very, very minimum.
The environmental impact study says that there would be minimal damage if a spill were to occur in this area. It's just not something that we're willing to risk. When it comes to protecting the Ogallala Aquifer, even a minor risk is not something that we're willing to accept.
And I'm Jacob York. The 2011 season for the Omaha Nighthawks came to a screeching halt as the UFL pulled the plug on the rest of the season. After losing over $100 million in their first 2 seasons and losing even more this season, the league ended the season to save money. On the UFL's website, Commissioner Michael Hugh says he and team owners believe in the future of the league. He's even asking fans for ideas as to where the league could start new teams. One city on the list is Jackson, Mississippi. Here at the Omaha Farmers Market, you can enjoy great food, great music, and a great atmosphere. The Omaha Farmers Market is an enjoyable event for all, for veteran market goers and for newcomers. So if you find yourself looking for a fun place to visit in the next few weeks, visit the Omaha Farmers Market while you can. And be sure to come to both of these Omaha Farmers Market locations, one at 10th and Jackson in the Old Market, and the other at 67th and Center at Ak-Sar-Ben Village. Be sure to get here before time runs out on October 16th. For the Omaha News, I'm Jacob York.
The GOP nomination for Senate is still up in the air, but 4 candidates have made quite an impression on Nebraskans. Jacob York has more.
There are 4 candidates running to receive the GOP Senate nomination. Those 4 candidates are Deb Fischer, Pat Flynn, John Bruning, and Don Stenberg. They are all trying to win this nomination and turn that momentum into a victory over long-standing Senator Ben Nelson. Nelson has held this position since 2000 and has successfully defended his Senate seat each time he has been challenged. One thing is for certain, this GOP Senate race will be fun to follow. Reporting with your 2011 GOP Senate preview and the Omaha News, I'm Jacob York. While you're there, you can check out the news stories our reporters covered, submit story ideas, or give us feedback. We'd love to hear from you. From all of us here at the Omaha News and UNO Television, have a great night.